Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Jonathan back again with the Weekly Scuffle, and I'm here to talk about influencer crossover boxing's newest promotion, Kingpyn Boxing, and their tournament and the fights that they've just recently announced. And honestly, this is kind of interesting. You got Wenderson, this guy right here on the screen. Mans is probably one of the most famous influencers in the world. He's based out of Brazil, and he has a metric blank of followers that honestly kind of surpasses almost any other influencer I think you'd ever see. And with that, comes a vast array of notoriety, especially in his country. And Brazil is a very big country. And honestly, I think this is very interesting because he doesn't have an opponent. Apparently, it was supposed to be Jay Swingler. That was supposed to be the final guy, but he pulled out of the tournament, and now that spot is waiting to be filled by who? That is yet to be seen. So all I can say for this fight is whoever fights Wenderson would probably, if they win, get a huge amount of eyes on them. So that could be interesting for acquiring somebody to join the tournament. And then next we got King Kenny versus none other than my name or my mate Nate. And honestly, this fight is very interesting because King Kenny is a very technical boxer, and of course he lost his last fight. No secrets there. He's been the product of a few interesting decisions by the judges, and controversial ones at that. And he's won some, he's lost some, and of course now he's fighting my mate Nate, who, in my opinion, is a very interesting fellow. You know, funky look to him. Not gonna lie, he doesn't look like a traditional boxer, but he apparently is 3-0. He is based from Thailand, and honestly, he seems kind of dangerous. Apparently, he broke somebody's nose with headgears and 16-ounce gloves, so that could be very interesting. And then we have Jarvis, the Fortnite killer, versus Tom Zanetti, the guy who went to war versus Slim, who many consider one of the top 5 influencer boxers. So this is going to be a very interesting fight. Jarvis has made it public how hard he's been training. He's been sparring with Floyd Mayweather. Very interesting. Joe Rogan said on his podcast that Jarvis, without knowing who he was, looked like a good boxer. So, nothing but high praise for Jarvis. And then lastly, of course, with the draw, we got the Nissan Gib vs Austin Mcbroom rematch, which everybody saw Austin Mcbroom get absolutely annihilated by Gib. And honestly, I see this fight going no differently. I think Gib figured out Austin Mcbroom's timing and kind of capitalized on that in their last fight, and I think he will continue to do the same thing in the rematch. And Mcbroom is now coming out with a whole bunch of excuses saying he had COVID and blah blah blah. But you know what? When you're a fighter, the day on the fight, that's the only day that matters. So he showed up, he didn't win it, and honestly, I really do expect the same thing to happen. Granted, it should be a good fight nonetheless. But with all that being said, we'll see how this all plays out, and see you next time. Peace.